Is your self-concept or your self-esteem sabotaging your health? My name is Dr. Erica Steele. I'm a board-certified naturopathic doctor. I hold 6 degrees in my field. They're all in the natural healthcare space. If you want to learn more about how you can improve your self-esteem, not only that, but also to improve your nutrition, learn about detoxification, and any number of holistic health strategies, we have tons of courses that I've personally developed. And so if you're interested, click the link in the bio below and learn all about. We also have one free one, Intro to Holistic Healthcare, that teaches you all about holistic healthcare, what to look for, etc. Okay, so let's talk about it. Also, too, thank you so much for my hair is crazy. I'm in New York right now, just finishing up a media event. So forgive me for not having the most pristine background. Okay, so enough of all of that. So how does self-esteem and your self-concept relate to your health, right? And is it sabotaging you? So let's look at it. Your self-concept is really a description of who you see yourself as, right? So I'm a doctor, I'm a media expert, I'm a mother, right? So I'm a partner, I'm vibrant, I'm loving, I'm sweet, all these things, right? Describe who I see myself as, right? And so then self-esteem is really the description of those things. It's really your judgments and your opinions about your perceived identity of yourself. So what that would look like is let's say I'm a doctor, but I'm not, the best doctor, right? Which isn't true, but still, like I have deficiencies, right? I'm a mother, but I'm a bad mother, or, I have good health, or, I'm healthy, but I have, 5 extra pounds. So your self-esteem really is driven by all of those judgments and those opinions. So how does that relate to your physical health, right? So again, if we're looking at it from the context of health in your self-concept, right? Write down how you see your health, right? So I'm healthy, I'm fit, I'm trim, all of the things, right? And I tend to recommend people to write 2 lists. Write one of where you feel like you are now. So, I'm healthy, I'm, 5 pounds overweight, I'm whatever, right? So write down all of the things that you view yourself as in that moment, right? And then write a separate list in terms of who you want to be, right? So I'm fit, I'm athletic, I'm this, I'm that, right? Because what'll happen is when you start to write those things and you start to affirm those things and you start to say those things out loud and to yourself, your body's going to give you feedback, right? So what I mean by that, in conscious communication, we learned that our body is going to now communicate where we're stuck. So let's kind of put that on the court, for instance. So let's say I say I'm athletic, right? So I'm going to say I'm athletic out loud, right? And instantly I'm going to feel any sensations that I may feel in my body, right? So for me, when I say that I'm athletic, I feel it in my gut, right? So feeling it in the gut, that's nervousness, that's fear, right? So that tells me my subconscious mind is saying, oh, I'm athletic, but I'm afraid. Am I afraid to be athletic? What made that mean? Like, would that mean that I'd have to take my physical health and well-being more seriously? Would that mean that I'd have to work out more? Would that have to mean that I'd have to work at my diet? Whatever, right? So those can be some clues. Now, your stomach is fear, your chest is going to be grief, your mind is like thinking, your back is your responsibility, and there's all kinds of different areas of the body to consider. And if you have any questions about that, where you're feeling those sensations, definitely drop them in the comments below and I will answer them one by one. So that can start to give you clues, right? And then when we look at your self-esteem, what are your judgments about that? So in our example of I'm athletic, right? So I see that I'm athletic, okay? I feel that there's fear around being athletic, right? So why is there, right? So what are my judgments? It's, well, I got injured in the past, or, I don't run as fast as I used to, or I don't feel as motivated, and so all of those things are all a part of my self-esteem because they are descriptors, right? They're judgments and their opinions of this self-concept that I'm creating. And so a lot of times people don't break these concepts down. They don't really get truly honest with themselves. And a lot of times I think people think that healing is supposed to be this like magical, beautiful, just like, all of these beautiful breakthroughs, and it's beautiful and wonderful and happy. And true healing, like we're talking deep shamanic healing. I know shamanism is such, a misappropriated word these days. Um, and let's kind of take it out of that context and put it maybe more in, deep spiritual healing. We're not just talking about psychological, emotional healing, but we're talking about deep, spiritual healing, because there's different levels of this. That's really where I believe that most of the work happens, is on the spiritual level. And then it pours into the psychological as well as the emotional. For me, I had some really deep soul wounds, having so much trauma in my bloodline, having so much abuse early on in my life. It was more than just me thinking happy thoughts. Like, me thinking happy thoughts wasn't going to cut it, wasn't going to transform it, wasn't going to fix anything. And I would get frustrated because I would be watching creators or listening to people or going to seminars, and they'd say, oh, just, do affirmations and everything will be fine. It's like, well, I'm walking around affirming my ass off, excuse my language, and nothing's changing. Why? Because not only were these emotional wounds from my childhood, from trauma, from literally things that have been passed down, but also to now they'd really infiltrated more in my soul level. And being an indigo and being a, old soul, if you will, and coming into this life, I came in with so much stuff to process through and deal with. And so if you're having difficulty manifesting and bringing forth things, especially in the area of your health or even in the area of your money or your relationships, because we all have kind of, one or many areas that we're working on, it could be because there's something deeper. So I always recommend people to go deeper, right? And it's going to be painful and it's going to suck and you're not going to like it. So I just telling you right there, you're going to want to run. You're going to get angry. Usually it's the grief first and then the anger tries to cover it up. You're going to be in resistance. You're going to be in denial. There's going to be breakdowns. So this is really just a beginning practice to really start to look and see. You cannot make change unless you look and see. So you might as well start progressing it. That is if you want to get well and you want to get better. Okay, so let's cap it all off so that it's organized. So self-concept, we're going to write 2 lists. The first list we're going to write is how you perceive yourself now, right? So I am statements. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, right? Whatever that is. Then you're going to write who you want to be. I'm and again, you're going to write it in the I am. I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. You're just going to write a list, right? As you go through saying each of your new affirmations, you're going to connect with your body, right? And you're going to see, where is the resistance? So is it I'm overthinking? Is it I really can't even speak this because I'm afraid? Is it because I have grief or sadness or sorrow? Is it because I have a lot of fear? Do I have difficulty moving forward? Please, if you're not aware of where it is in the body, just drop the comment in there and I will be happy to answer it. So I'm getting my mind body connected, right? And now I'm going to write my judgments about all of that, right? So my judgments about this new, so, I couldn't possibly do this because of blah, 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 or I failed at this, or this didn't work out for me, or I'm holding on to this resentment or whatever. And you write down all of those lists, right? And then you choose a different story. So what I mean by that is you go, okay, so let's look at the example of health, right? So let's say, I'm athletic. So I have fear around being athletic because I've injured myself so many times. And so, I go, okay, so I have fear around that, right? And then the story is, because I even just said it, because I've injured myself so many times. That is part of my self-esteem. That's part of why I feel like I can't be athletic, because in my mind I go, oh my gosh, I can't just do, something super simple. I've got to be the best of the best, the top of the line, the this, that, because my self-esteem is so tied into achievement, right? So I go, okay, so that's my judgment, because I injured myself, I can't be athletic, right? So then I question that. Is that ultimately true? Yes or no? right? So let's say I would say, yes, that's true. Let's say I'm really stubborn and I just don't want to get it, right? I would say yes. Then I ask, do I want this to be true? Yes or no, right? The answer is no. What do I want to be true instead? I want to be true instead that I'm athletic without effort, right? That would be amazing. That would be a really cool thing. So now I've built upon my affirmation. It's not just about the self concept, but now I'm combining my self esteem and now I'm supercharging my affirmation. So now I'm athletic, right? Without any effort. Powerful, right? So now I've hit both sides of my psychology and now I'm going to affirm that. And immediately as I say that, I just feel like, I feel like a sense of relief. Like I feel like, oh, I don't have to kill myself in this. I don't have to work that hard. Oh my God, that's so amazing. So that is pretty much just a breakdown of how to create some self-concept affirmations and how to really tackle the self-esteem issues that we all have. I mean, every single one of us, I don't care who you are, you definitely have it. And so this is a really good tool if you're just getting stuck in the same old loop and you get frustrated and you just don't know how to get out of it. So if you've liked this education, please like, share, and subscribe. I have tons of education, some even free, some courses are even free. Below, you can click the link. And really, I teach you kind of A to Z about holistic healthcare. Having 6 degrees really has afforded me to learn a lot. So I teach mental health stuff, I teach emotional health stuff, I teach detoxification, nutrition, you name it, exercise, you name it. There are things in there pretty much for everyone who's interested in living a holistic life. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.